Do you have a business idea? Are you thinking of how to work your dream? Then watch Be Inspired.
This is Be Inspired. This is Be Inspired. This is Be Inspired. This is Be Inspired.
Learn from experienced entrepreneurs. Discover and develop your talent and potentials. Be challenged. Take that bold step to start up your business. Use your skills for the good of the society. Give wings to your vision. Let it fly.
Be Inspired talk show with Akwa.
In this episode, an experienced Nollywood director joins us.
Be Inspired, brought to you by KIJC.
Supported by Inspiration 105.9 FM. Uyo.
For advert placement and sponsorship, please call 0802 222 8013.
Be Inspired.
Hello, this is Be Inspired. Glad to have you on the show. This talk show is about promoting entrepreneurship and creativity, as well as any form of service that people in our immediate society provide. We hope to inspire you out there to take that bold step to start up your own business, no matter how small and regardless of the challenge that you may face in the process. This is our own little way of contributing towards increasing our nation's gross domestic product and improving our society. My name is Akwa. At this moment, we shall take a short break. When we return, you get to meet our guest on the show. Please stay with us.
Be inspired. Know more about entrepreneurship. Meet the creative masters.
I'm Moses.
Okay.
Eskor. I'm a filmmaker.
Hi, I'm Tima, a fashion designer. I run a business community where we have over 3,000 membership. Being a grant writer, won so many grants across the country, and being a banker for so many years.
My name still remains Moses Armstrong. My friends and fans call me Akwa Ibom finest and most celebrity, aka the street bishop. You can add your own. I'm also a producer and a director. The special assistant to the governor on agriculture.
My name is Collins Oscar, Chief Executive Officer made in Akwa Ibom Corporation. I'm a businessman. I'm also a writer with 5 books to my credit.
My name is Annabeth Francis. I'm an actor, a film producer, a scriptwriter, and I'm also the founder of Orange Film Bootcamp and U40 Productions. I'm an actor by default. I'm an artist by default.
Okay.
So naturally, I think art, I breathe art, I see art. Yeah.
Innovation at work. Join the visionaries. Be a change agent. Make a positive change in your world. Be inspired.
Brought to you by KIJC.
Supported by Inspiration 105.9 FM. Uyo.
The family is number one.
And we're your number one family radio.
Inspiration
105.9.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us. This is Still Be Inspired. My name is Tilly Akwa. And in our studio today, we have a very important personality, one of the major stakeholders in the video film industry in Akwa Ibom State. I want to very warmly and very specially welcome to our studio today, Mr. Moses Eskor.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you.
I want to say a very big thank you for making out time from your very busy schedule to be here with us today.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. God bless you.
Yeah.
So we'll start by asking you to tell us about yourself, your name, your local government area of origin, and your academic qualification.
I'm Moses.
Okay.
Eskor. I am from Ibom local government area here in Akwa Ibom State, from a village called Ikotabasinyang, in town Ibom local government area. Politically, it's Ward 7 and Ibom local government area. I'm a filmmaker. I actually have been in entertainment business for many donkey years ago. As far as I can't even remember. I've been in music. I've been in music for long. This place I'm sitting down, the Christian Radio Studio, actually used to host us because I was the leader of a group called the Navigators then. We were 4, we used to sing, and those days made good music and release it. And we're competing with a group called New Waves those days in the early 90s. And then I grew up to read music. I was so much in love with music. I didn't even know what I'm going to do, what I'm doing presently. So I read music after my secondary school, proceeded to the University of Uyo, graduated as a musicologist, and then I go straight into doing music. But one thing got me straight into what I'm doing here. I would say my middle term in the university and year 3 precisely, I had some electives in the theater department, and those days we used to call them Little Playhouse. So I would be passing through the Little Playhouse to a particular class behind the Little Playhouse, and where the likes of Wemidi Motakpo, Dr. Inyebong, Dr. Akwa, and Dr. Steve, those days will be taking us on these electives once in a while on theater. And on my way back, I'll be seeing these productions going on that stage. So I had this friend of mine that we grew up together. She read theater art, I read music. So I always found myself in theater art, sitting down in the Little Playhouse, the audience, and watching the stage play go on. Along the line, I was lucky during the I think it was on the tenure of Sam Itubikon was there, and some other some of their names I can remember, Ifure Ford, and Kike was ahead of us. Ifure Ford and the rest, and I had to follow them to Utasa. And that festival came back, and I was carried along. I and one particular Kens used to be given roles to perform alongside with them on stage. That's how I developed my love for theater. And I organized Miss Theater Art. I was so fond of the department that though I was a music student, but I was not as popular in my department as I was popular in theater art. So I decided then to own my production house. There's a place in Ikot Road that was called Lord's Motel. So I started my production house then. That is, I'm talking about 1998, 1999, with Otobong Pong, Akani Yenekwenyong. Akani Yenekwenyong presently is one of the greatest music producer in east of the Niger. He started with me, and Otobong Pong, Akani Yenekwenyong, and the rest of them, there were many. We started what was called Billboard Productions, and definitely I was in charge of both Billboard Productions, the director then. We produced one film called Akwa, and the film was released in December 1998. Incidentally, it happened to be the very first, I repeat, the very first feature film shot in Akwa Ibom State, but not in Akwa Cross. My friend, funny man, we grew up in the same street in Calabar. We started theater together, and those days when I finished, I would be going home. Those days we were young. We joined the Boys Brigade together, and we had this Boys Brigade theater together. So during the BB week, then in Calabar, this time I'm talking about 80s, we started the BB theater in Atamunu Street Methodist Church. His name is Funny Man, Emmanuel Leyo, and he was called Funny Man because when we went to Cultural Center Board program that was called Sunday Show, those days people like Eric Anderson, the current commissioner, was young, and they were head, and people like Sakra and the rest were young. I and Funny Man will be performing on stage with Lokome. And one day, the then governor of Cross River State, His Excellency Ebri, said, bring back that Funny Man on stage. And that's how Funny Man, Emmanuel inherited his name as Funny Man. Along the line, he grew up, and Akwa Ibom State was in 1987. Akwa Ibom State and Cross River State parted ways. A few months before then, the division came in September. But before then, in January, we performed one time so fine that they decided to employ us into the Cultural Center Board, Calabar. And after that employment, the division came. Funny Man and the rest decided to follow the civil servants then to Uyo. I refused and stayed back in Calabar. Because with casual staff in Cultural Center Board, I decided to leave Lokome, decided to stay, Sakra decided to stay, and the rest, Iteta and the rest. Omini was very good to me, God bless his soul, and they all asked me to stay, but it wasn't good for me. I went straight back into music. That is a little of my life. I'm today into film business.
All right.
Yes.
Very good. Quite interesting. I was getting carried away with the history. All right. Very particular about the knowing the historical background of Akwa Ibom video film industry. I'm from here, so I have done a bit of research on the internet. The sources do not give you that information about how the industry started in Akwa Ibom, the video film industry. I haven't seen any book to that effect, so I would like you to give us that historical background of the video film. I know you mentioned one Akwa film, but the rest of it, films produced, who were the producers, the actors, directors, and all of that, and how it progressed to where it is currently.
Okay, wait, no, I am one man that do not believe in distorted history. I tell people the way it is, and I tell people the truth, because there will be children born tomorrow that will want to come and know how things happened. When they said Kufrima, the film called Kufrima was the very first film shot in Akwa Ibom State, I'll tell them no. Kufrima was not shot in Akwa Ibom State. Kufrima was shot in Calabar. It was produced by my friend, then Mr. Emmanuel Eyo. It was done in Calabar. Most of the cast he used came from the Cultural Center Board. I've told you about the Sunday show that we all used to do together. That was how Kufrima emanated. After Kufrima, I did one called Akwa. Those days, it was two of us that were very, popular then in film, video, theater stuff. And then I want to talk about Akwa Ibom. Okay. Immediately he did that in Uyo. I told you how I left it out to go and start how I started that production house. I did a film in 1998 called Akwa, and I've mentioned people like Akwa. That film was his first film. Akwa incidentally also was a musician. Okay. Do you understand? He was working under Alpha Kufa to make an album. So I lured him into that theater. He came in, and after that, he was a student of the theater department in West of U. After that, he decided to go and work, because that film was edited at Multicam Studios. That time, there was nobody ever known how. We finish a film, you have to go to Aba to say how we're going to edit it. The first film we did in Calabar, which was Abinoy, I did in Calabar, I edited it in Aba. So when this one came, we were looking for where. Multicam had this Multicam was, I think it was owned owned by this Ukwe, this man that is in AKBC now, the pastor Ibom. He had Multicam as early as the early 90s. When the Kwame was early, the Kwame State was early. So we did that film, and we were looking for a way to edit it, and Akwa was the only one in our group that decided to supervise how it is edited. He took it to Multicam. That was how I started learning editing in Multicam Studios. And came out there as one of, we didn't sponsor him, we didn't give him money, but we encouraged him. Do you understand? And that is how he came out from there as a trained editor to become what he is today. Because he's one of the best today. And the film came out. The film was released under Itiaba Records, produced by Joe Itiaba. Joe Itiaba is still today. He's still not making music. His father used to be a very great music marketer, the late Itiaba, and Joe was like a manager of Itiaba Records. And Joe acted in the film. Joe was also part of the Billboard Productions, and Joe produced the film, sponsored the film, and then got it out on VHS. Okay. After that film, the next film that came not mostly on VHS, partly VHS, partly CD, was done in Akwa Ibom. Okay. Done in Akwa Ibom was Ememi Song's film, and that was called The Untouchable. She just came in from, I think Unica, she was schooling then. She came and shot Untouchable in Eke. I hope you understand me. She finished that Untouchable. It was a great one. It was directed by Francis Abu. Okay. After The Untouchable, the next film that was done in this area is called A Heavy Laden. Okay. Heavy Laden actually opened the Actors Guild of Nigeria because it was produced by Victor Akpan. And Victor Akpan, after producing that film, decided to go and bring most of the cast on the set, like Sweetest and the rest, and then also invited members of the AGN then to come and start AGN here. Okay. After that was Idioko. Idioko happened to be the second indigenous film. The first English film was Untouchable by Mimi Song. Do you understand? The first indigenous film was Akwa from by Moses Eskor. The second English film was Heavy Laden by Victor Pan. The second indigenous film was Idioko, produced by an Ibom man. They came in with the Kingpin Nation and the rest. They had already done several films in Lagos, like that done Moving Train and the rest. They just came in, and then they took part of Victor Pan's members crew then, and that film discovered a whole lot of few people like Rose Diamond, Ekeren Kanga, and the rest of them. As at that particular time, I had this attitude. If I see people do things like that, and this guy was there, Ifeanyi Kombakara, and Ifeanyi Kombakara was my film. Do you understand that I did? Akwa from, he was also in Idioko. So as they were doing it, I definitely didn't go out. Then after that, after the production of Idioko, I decided to come out to go and mingle with them. And that was in Andromeda, where I, Ekeren Kanga, and some few other children like Emma Solution, Victor Idem, and Kennedy Kanem I met and Love Etebom. I met them at a place called Andromeda. And that became the greatest revolution. From that time, I did, within a span of a year, I think I did like 20 films in 1 year. And it was a miracle. How I did it, they did not know till today. Until today, the revolution of the industry, spanning films every day, films coming out. And this time around, it is not just those films that they did before, apart from the Maison Untouchable, ended around the area. But I broke into the Lagos market, shooting films, and then you sit down in Rio, you see the film in Lagos, and the posters are everywhere. So the revolution came, and the rest is where we are today.
Wow. I have been trying to get the history. So thank you so much for that expansive explanation about the video film industry in Akwa Ibom State.
Hey yo, what is up, yo? What is up, Nigeria? It's your number one family radio, 105.9 FM.
It's Kiri. Ubi this, you already know. Oh, yeah.
Jumbo say so.
Jason. My boy is a fine girl. This ain't so fine girl. Si I'm gonna ology my girl. I want you to be a boo, ology my girl. Ology my girl. Cause I know you want somebody. Cause I know you need somebody. Cause I know you want somebody. I know you need somebody. Can you need somebody? See, if I'm from Canada, I go take you to Canada. Oh yeah, Canada, I go take you to Canada. If I'm from Canada, I go take you to Canada. Oh yeah, Canada, I go take you to Canada.